don't want to do this exercise. It's pretty dog shit for hypertrophy anyway, because if you want to grow muscle, you need to get that muscle close to failure, and it's really hard to get close to failure. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Wesley Vissers' ab training advice. Now, I just want to start out this video saying, personally, I don't train abs. I don't think you need to train abs, but if you're going to train abs, we're going to be taking a look at what Wesley has to say about it. And I want to just throw something out there right now. Why do I not train abs? Well, I don't train abs because I feel they get worked really hard from the stability of other exercises like squats, RDLs, lat pull downs, the lat prayer, press downs, all that kind of stuff. You're always flexing your core, so your abs are going to get some level of development there. And another thing is, if you train the obliques on the side a lot, what that's going to do is it's actually going to give you a thicker waistline. And what do we want in bodybuilding and classic physique? We want a small waist to get that X frame, the wide shoulders, small waist, and flaring quads. If we train our obliques, it's going to detract from that and not going to be as aesthetic. And as someone who I think has their strongest body part being their abs, the lighting isn't very good, but great looking abs. Abs, very strong body part for me, and I don't train them at all. But I'm going to give Wesley the benefit of the doubt. I don't think you have to train them, but if you are going to, let's dive into it.
One movement we're not going to do is this one. Pay close attention. One of the most popular movements to do, you see in every single gym, the side bend. If you want wider stomachs, wider obliques, horrible looking aesthetics, this is what you should do.
Starting it off with a banger, the side bend exercise. You don't want to do this exercise. It's pretty dog shit for hypertrophy anyway, because if you want to grow muscle, you need to get that muscle close to failure, and it's really hard to get close to failure on a side bend exercise or whatever. And again, it's training the obliques. You don't want to train obliques if you want aesthetics. You want those that you want to see the obliques. You want them to be shredded, but you don't want them to be big and thick. You want them to be small, to have a smaller waistline. So bang on, Wesley there. Don't do this exercise.
All right, so one of my favorite ones to do is actually a cable crunch. You can do this kneeling down, but I like to do it on like a lat pull down machine because it allows you to put your back and your butt against this, anchoring down the hips.
And as far as the cable crunch, I do think it is a good exercise for, getting those abdominals. It's going to work a little bit more the upper abs, so the ones at the top there, because you're crunching down. Personally though, if I were to train abs, I would probably rather do like a decline crunch. So where you have a bench and you're on a decline angle and your legs are strapped in and you like hold a plate and you crunch. I just feel with the cable crunch, I don't know, I feel like I don't have as good of a mind muscle connection with my abs, but that's just me. If you like this exercise, then obviously you can do it, and I think it is a good exercise for the abs, so not bad so far.
We are going to go on this glute hip drive, or how do you call this thing again? Like that, stretch out the abs. You can feel the stretch and then do it like that. I'm a bit tall for this machine, but for most people, this works perfectly.
And there it is. So that's the exercise that I would prefer to do over the cable crunch, but they're both great ab exercises. This is definitely going to thicken up that six-pack that you got. So first two exercises are really good so far.
What you then want to do is throw your legs up like this, get your butt off the bench, and only get your butt back on the bench, and then push it up like this. And then you feel the actual contraction in only the lower abs and nothing else. And it's incredibly challenging to do, especially at the end of your ab workout.
I've never even seen this exercise before. It looks like it's not bad. The only thing I will say is it doesn't look like it has a lot of range of motion, but I mean, I guess it's fine. Like he says, it's gonna hit the lower abs more, so I don't know. I never really tried that exercise before, so I don't really know how it would feel, but it looks fine to me.
What you want to do is breathe out all the air and then suck in the belly button towards your spine. That activates the transverse abdominis, which is a sheet of muscle below your rectus abdominis, the visible abs, so you can actually create a tighter waist rather than doing these side bends, creating a thicker waist. This actually sucks everything in. Let me show you. So first breathe in out the air and then suck in your belly button. And you kind of want to do, for example, 3 sets, 15 seconds in the morning, and up the amount of seconds by 5 every time you're able to do those 3 sets easily. But once again, doing this at the end of the workout would not be the smartest thing. I would do it in the morning when you wake up, as you then have fresh muscle, no oxygen needed, and you can then practice the sucking in part.
Then it's not really an ab exercise, but it's to help you with your vacuum. In order to pull off a proper vacuum, you have to practice blowing out all your air and sucking in your stomach. And he gives really good advice on that, where you should do that in the morning where you have an empty stomach, because if you put a lot of food in yourself, it's going to be a lot harder to pull off a vacuum. You could be bloated, so best thing to practice that right in the morning. And I also think I have a decent vacuum as well. I do practice that. It is something that you have to get used to. Now, I already have had a meal in and whatnot, so it's not going to be as good as where right when I wake up, but you definitely have to practice that. Not really training the abdominals per se, but you absolutely have to practice that if you want to get that proper vacuum. So overall, I think his advice is pretty good. I do think, though, I would like to see some kind of like hanging leg raise. I didn't see that. I mean, he does have that, I don't know, hip up exercise or whatever to work the lower abs, but for me anyway, I prefer like a hanging leg raise or a hanging knee raise. When you do the hanging leg raise anyway, it's going to activate your hip flexors a lot, so I would actually prefer just doing knee raises. And if you need to add an external load, you can kind of just wear a belt and add a dumbbell in between your legs. But that's his advice. I think it's pretty good, but of course, I don't think you have to train abs. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's kind of like wasting your time if your goal is bodybuilding or whatever. But hey, what do I know? 16-year-old idiot. I don't do it. I know a lot of guys don't do it, and they have amazing abs. But Wesley does it. It works for him. So that's going to have to wrap up this video, guys. If you have enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.